What they're literally fighting over now is about 30 to 50 kilometer space in the 20% of the Donetsk region that remains. And so what we have tried to do, and I think have made some progress, is figure out what can the Ukrainians live with that gives them security guarantees for the future. They're never going to be invaded again, allows them not just to rebuild their economy, but to prosper as a country, be a country that has an economy that grows theoretically, doing the right things. In 10 years, Ukraine's GDP could be larger than Russia's. These are the kinds of things. Stop the war, make sure they never get invaded or attacked again, protect Ukraine's longstanding and long-term sovereignty and independence so that they don't become a puppet state. They're actually independent and sovereign, and allow their economy not just to recover, but to prosper and turn it into a story of prosperity. That's what we're trying to achieve here. So what can Ukraine agree to, given all the dynamics that I've just described, and what will Russia agree to? And at the end of the day, it's not up to us. It's not our war. We're not fighting it. They're not American soldiers. It's on another continent. We are engaged because we're the only ones that can. European countries, there's no one else in the world that can do this. The Chinese can't do it. The only leader in the world that can talk to both sides and make a deal of a deal as possible is President Trump. And he's been very patient. He's dedicated a lot of time to it. A lot of the top people in his administration have been involved in this. We are trying to see if we can bridge the divide between both sides. To do that, we have to talk to both sides. We have some irrational people involved in this issue. Okay? People who believe that we should only talk to the Ukrainian side and not talk to the Russians at all. You can't end a war between Russia and Ukraine without talking to Russia. Right. But you also have to take into account the Ukrainian position. They've been very brave in how they fought. But we think that now is the ideal time for both sides to end the war. And if there's a way to bridge the divide between the two sides, we're the only ones in the world that can do it. And that's what we're trying to do. Ultimately, it's going to be up to them. If they decide they don't want to end the war, then the war will continue. But we're going to try to bring it to an end. And I think the president should be commended for that, not attacked for it or criticized. Some of these people have this notion that our policy should be just continue to fund Ukraine on unlimited amounts for as long as the war takes. That's not realistic. That's not reality. And that's not going to happen. And we've been saying that for a long time. Well, you can't sustain the scale and scope of it. And I also think it's realistic for Russia to continue this war for 4 or 5 years.
I would have thought on paper that Russia would have rolled over them in 3 weeks. And wow, the president at one point said...
What people forget, Sean, is that at some point in this war, Russia controlled substantially more territory in Ukraine than they do now. The Ukrainians, if you look at what that map looked like in March or April after the invasion, or May, 3 months after the invasion, and what it looks like now, the Ukrainians have pushed the Russians way back from where they were. So they've already achieved tremendous things because of their bravery, their courage, and how hard they have fought. But there's also the reality. This has now become a war of attrition. And sadly, the Russians have shown their willingness to sacrifice 7,000 soldiers a week.
Crazy. In
an effort to achieve this. Putin a couple of weeks ago said, it may take long. We are going to achieve our objectives. It may cost more and take longer than we